Evening, tenors. Lovely to see you all. Great bunch of you here this evening, and also lovely to see Judith joining from the Sopranos. You're very, very welcome, and you definitely don't just need to sit at the back. You can sit at the front. Doesn't matter where you sit. In fact, great to have you with us. Hello, young self-isolation choir has made a brief appearance, and now Mark has returned as the self-isolation choir. Hello, Mark. Good evening. Good evening, Lisa, as well. A partially lapsed alto. Well, again, you are equally welcome. We will definitely appreciate a bit of reinforcement from the altos in some of the higher bits, in the same way that perhaps the altos might appreciate a bit of attention from the tenors in some of the lower stuff. So we're all what's the word? Very kind of democratic in this. You can sing whichever part you like, whenever you like. It's entirely up to you. And hello, Lisa. Hello, Yap. Is that how you say it? I hope so. Correct me if I'm wrong. Very much looking forward to tackling the second half of this movement today, which is really where the real meat comes. Because the first part is quite a lot of kind of quite gentle, or at least quite short little bits, plus that great chorus. And then as we get into the second half, we enter the longer variations in all their glory. There is such wonderful, wonderful music we get to sing in this second half. And we really get stuck into the meat of the piece as it builds energy and it builds momentum up to its amazing, amazing climax. Reaches kind of fever pitch by the end. And hello, Linda from Geneva. That's fantastic. And Patricia joining as a sopralto, a sort of sopraltenor, maybe you could say. You're very welcome. So what we're going to do in 5-10 minutes, we'll do a little warm-up. Always welcome to warm up beforehand as well, because I'm sure everyone has their own warm-ups that work best for them. So I just do a kind of gentle group one and then kind of crack on with the music, because that's really what we're here for. And then we'll work our way through this piece. I'll sort of start from page 32, which is roughly, I think, where we got to last time. I think we did at least get to page 32. Correct me if we didn't. But I think we got to page 32 in my marked up score, which is a wonderful page. And then we do this great section, the Allegro Energico, and we'll get all the way to the end. So by the end of this rehearsal, you will have covered the whole piece with me, and you can watch back both of these sectional rehearsals, so you've always got some material for kind of working in detail on the stuff. The nice thing by this point is that we've pretty much, by page 33, we've sung every word of the text. So everything after page 33 is a repetition of words we sung before. So mercifully, kind of as the music gets more difficult, the text gets easier because the text gets more familiar. So that's one of the few things about this piece that are easy. But my goodness, the stuff that is demanding is rewarding. You get rewarded for your hard work as this piece goes on. Hello, Michael. Great to see you. Bass, defecting from the bass section to join the tenors. Well, that's great. You are welcome. You are welcome to sing your tenor part, the bass part, if you like, or you can sing the tenor part with us. You make a choice. Jump between the two. Maybe that's not an easy thing to do, but totally up to you. I hope you have all got my marked up score, if anything, just so that we have the same page numbers, because as ever with this older music, often there aren't bar numbers. I don't really know how they rehearse this stuff. I think they must have rehearsed in big sections, just using the rehearsal marks, but we're all too familiar with kind of counting 500 bars after letter P, that I'm glad that they invented the concept of bar numbers sometime in the middle of the 19th century. But yes, and I've put a couple of little things in this marked up score, little aid memoir for pronunciation, and I've actually marked up my own score a little bit more afterwards with a few little things that I will suggest that you maybe write into yours to help things as we go along, particularly things like page turns, which are a nightmare. I actually use, I've recently joined the 21st century. I use an iPad, and I have an amazing little pedal which I click, which turns the page for me. And I tell you, after years of playing the piano, I've been playing the piano now for 20 years, which is pretty weird actually, given I'm not that much older than that. But you train your feet, it would seem, when you're playing the piano. One of them does the sustain pedal, one of them does the soft pedal, and you turn the page with your hands. And I've had to retrain my brain to turn the page with my left foot by clicking the little pedal. And when I switch back to printed music, I find my foot completely involuntarily, when I get to the end of a page, trying to find the pedal to click to turn the page, which of course doesn't do anything. And by that point it's too late, and I've sort of reached the end of the page. But anyway, I'm a strong advocate actually of the iPad. It's quite nice being able to highlight music and circle stuff in red, as though it was in pen, so to speak, but you can rub it out, or you can just sort of start afresh and have a totally new score or whatever. It's good. I mean, I still have a lot of printed music, and I still buy printed music because I think it's important to keep it going, and there is something irreplaceable about, a hardbound, so to speak, a score, a real score that's got your own pencil markings on it and that you've had for years and years and years. But sort of when you're on the move, or when you're having to play and sing at the same time, sometimes having the pedal to turn the pages, etc. is kind of handy. So maybe if you've got an iPad, have a go. But each to their own. How does this work, the pedal? Yeah, well, it's connected by Bluetooth. That's the answer. I think my iPad thinks it's a keyboard. It gets a bit confused. But yeah, so it's actually two pedals. So I click one forward, one back. I'll show it to you. There you go. Tiny little thing. Maybe I can even do a little demonstration. I don't know if you're going to be able to see the screen of this thing. There you go. So when I click the pedal, oh hey, turns the page. It's quite pleasing. So there we go. It didn't cost very much. So you'll hear when I'm playing the piano occasionally, I don't know if you can hear the click. That's me turning the page. Alright, well that's enough about iPads. One of the things that sort of briefly I've converted to over this lockdown period, partly because it was hard to get hold of printed music, and I've spent an awful lot of time sort of exploring different music at the piano, great way to pass the time playing the piano. And the nice thing about an iPad is you can just get something off the internet and play it straight away. It's great. Try it with your singing. If you just feel if there's a song you've always wanted to sing, you can just find it on the internet and sing it through. So there we go. It's just like a PlayStation controller. It does look like that. Yeah, exactly. I think if I was a guitarist, which I definitely am not, I could use it to do more sophisticated things. But I am not sophisticated, so all I use is for it to turn the pages forward and backwards, and sometimes I get mixed up between the two, and the page goes backwards when I want it to go forwards. So there we go. All right. Well, we've got a good number of people here, and it's pretty much 8 o'clock, so get yourself nice and comfortable, and get a glass of water, whatever, and we will do a little warm-up. Yeah, I mean, I would recommend also there's an app. Maybe I can send this information to Mark. The app is called Paperless Music, which is specially designed because a lot of PDF readers are not great for music. But it's a very good app designed exactly for someone who's sitting in a rehearsal with their iPad with their music on it, and then they can, I'll show you again, I can sort of, is it going to focus? There we go. Watch as I highlight things. Woohoo! Or I can circle stuff with red pen. It's pretty handy. And then if I mess it up, I can just click undo. If only I could do that in performances. But there we go. In a way, you can do that, because if you make a mistake when you're recording, you can undo by just redoing the take. So there we go. Okay, right, that's enough. Let's do a little bit of singing then. So let's just start with some lip trilling, one of my favourites. Just on fifths. like that, just going. Deep breath. Keep going. One more. Great. I was talking yesterday to the basses about high notes, and my kind of one thing that I really would bang on about high notes is do not worry about messing them up. Don't worry about cracking or it being out of tune or whatever, because the number one thing that's going to make you miss a high note is worrying about it. I would always make the comparison with French horn players. French horn is pretty much the most difficult instrument to play, the most difficult kind of normal European instrument to play anyway. You're always told as a conductor, when a French horn player's got something difficult to play, something high, which as a French horn player requires incredible control of your lips and incredible control of your stomach muscles and sort of concentration, you're told as a conductor, never look at them. Because if you look at them, they freak out and they mess it up. It slightly depends on the French horn player, but as a rule, it's kind of true actually. Just leave them to do it. And speaking as a tenor, I think us tenors are a little bit similar. You know, when you've got something high to sing, and the conductor suddenly looks over you and is like, hey, this is a high, difficult bit. It's the number one thing that's going to make you think, oh my goodness, what am I singing? And then it's gone and you've messed it up. So luckily, in a way, you don't have a conductor in the room who can eyeball you. You've just got me sitting here on camera. And when you're recording, you've just got me not even live, I'm just recorded. So no one is there to judge you when you're recording and when you're practicing as well. You know, and you haven't got the rest of the section, because I know what it's like when you're standing next to a tenor who just seems to effortlessly seem to hit the high notes. And you sort of think, how do you do that? You're just born with better vocal cords than me. But you have none of those problems, which, like I say, I think are the main problems for having difficulties with high notes. So just go for it. Just go for the high notes, see what happens, because only one way to find out and to learn how to sing them is just going for it. You know, it's a bit like when you see on the Olympics those divers who dive from a kind of 50-foot high diving board, and you think, how do you practice doing a quadruple backflip from that? You know, you can't do kind of a quarter of a backflip and then do a half of a backflip and three quarters. You've got to do the whole backflip. But with high notes, you can miss it, and you'll be like, oh, I missed it. Why was that? What felt wrong? And you can just try again and again, and nothing happens. You're not going to fall flat on your face and do a belly flop in the swimming pool. Nothing is at stake when you're trying to sing a high note when you're on your own. So just go for it, and you'll find your way with your own voice. You've always got falsetto if you want to, which is just absolutely nothing to be ashamed of at all. In fact, I think the falsetto colour in this kind of music actually often adds quite a lot. So you're welcome to pick between the two. So don't fret about high notes. And the reason I thought of that very long-winded little spiel, is when you're doing lip trills, because of the way the sound is slightly obfuscated by the I find it a great way of exploring your upper register, because your voice can kind of crack and wobble around and whatever, and you can't really hear it that much. You just hear the general woo of your voice coming through the. So it's a great way to kind of. Try your high notes, and it's easier to sing them. There's less pressure, you know. I find it much harder to sing it with my mouth wide open. So it's a great way to train your upper register lip trills. So have a go with some of this tougher stuff on your own. If you're finding some of the high notes tricky, try it on a lip trill, and it's still working your vocal cords, but somehow without the pressure of having your mouth wide open. So there we go. Okay, enough talk. let's do some singing. We'll start, I said, on page 32, where it says adagio ma non troppo, which means at ease, adagio, but not too much, at ease, ma devoted, literally. And you get this very sacred sounding, sounds like Palestrina. Intro, and then this G minor chord, and we come in on a B flat. So just practice finding that note in that chord, because you've had quite a lot of tricky harmony, and you just need to find B flat. That's your starting note. And we go from B flat down to D flat straight away. Quite a tricky interval to jump down. So just practice. That's it. It's always a good way of practicing intervals, that is just practice them in isolation. It's like on a violin or a guitar, just finding the muscle memory of where those notes are in your vocal cord. And then when you sing it properly, you go like, I know where the B flat is, and I know where the D is, and there's a C after it. So that whole phrase goes, Ihr stürzt nie da. Just do that for me. 2, 3. Ihr stürzt nie da. Perfect. Quite a lot to think about in that. Double hairpin, one of them. Very expressive marking, particularly in this time when Beethoven was writing. Just give it a real bit of energy in the middle. Stürzt. Tricky word. It's an U. Stürzt. And it's a TS followed by a T at the end. Stürz. Just say Stürz with a TS at the end. Stürz. And then put a T at the end of it. Stürzt. Tst. Tst. Stürzt. Stürzt. Takes quite a lot of practice, that. And there's almost no time to squeeze it into Ihr stürzt nie da. And we separate nie da. Next bit's not so tricky. Millionen, an octave jump from a D to a D. Let's try that one. 1, 2, 3. A millionen. That's it, and we separate Ordnen. And those words mean Ihr stürzt nieder. Do you bow down before him? Millionen, ye millions, you might say, in sort of antiquated English. It's addressing the millions, the world. Next bit, I'll just sing it to you. Ahnest du den Schöpfer? Wonderful moment. Beethoven loves bringing out one voice and getting them to sing a little bit earlier than everyone else, or a little bit later than everyone else. And this is one of those moments. Everyone else goes, Du den Schöpfer. And we go, Du den Schöpfer. And we really emphasize it. And on that interval, rising minor sixth. Du den Schöpfer. Just sing that. Du den Schöpfer for me. 1, 2, 3. Du, 2, 3. Den Schöpfer. Schöpfer. Which means, do you sense your creator? Really emphatic. And I really want to hear that den. Den. So let's go from arnest to do you sense. Sense est thee in old-fashioned English, which is often the same word order as German. You know, we'd say do you sense, but in Old English we'd say sense est thou, same word as do. And so in German they go arnest du, and you can kind of hear the similarity. So there's your B flat for arnest. 2, 3. Arnest du 2, 3 den Schöpfer, and then Welt. That's it. Well done. Yeah. So begin that crescendo on arnest piano, because we've got 2 crescendos in a row here. Stürzt nieder, Millionen. That's a crescendo. Rising phrase, because it's a question. And then Arnest du den Schöpfer, another rising phrase with a crescendo, because it's also a question. Den Schöpfer Welt. And we have this open-ended cadence. G minor, B flat major to C major. Major chord 4, often a very expressive device. Because chord 4 is naturally minor, in a minor key. But it's beautiful when it gets major. So there we go, 2 crescendos in a row, finishing fortissimo. So we've crescendoed from piano to fortissimo on Welt, world, same word. And then we come down from double F to double P, where we say, Such ihn, seek him, überm, above Sternenzelt, the canopy of stars, the star canopy. Über Sternen, above the stars, muss wohnen, must he reside. Must he reside. So we start Such on that note. Such ihn überm Sternenzelt. Sounds like a Christmas carol. Just sing those 4 notes for me. Ah, and ah. That's it. And with the rhythm and the words, it's 1, 2, 3. Such ihn überm Sternenzelt. T on the bar line. Well done. Yeah, and that's a crescendo from pianissimo up to forte. It's full of crescendos, because it's ultimately one big build-up for this moment, where we're up on a G flat. Über Sternen muss wohnen. So, let's try from Stürzt nieder, top of 32. I'll give you a little intro. Stürzt nieder, Millionen, ahnest du den Schöpfer Welt? Überm Sternenzelt. Über Sternen muss Akzent wohnen. Well done. Yeah, you really need to kind of cling on for dear life to that G. It doesn't need to be too high. Don't worry about kind of making it too bright. That's an E flat. The G there. You can sit quite comfortably, harmonically speaking, even if not vocally speaking. Yeah, muss wohnen, that last word. Must he reside. Accent the vo and don't accent the nun. Because we wouldn't say reside, we say reside if the accent was on the first syllable, as it is in this word. Wohnen, wohnen. Great, well done. So the next bit, you get this mysterious diminished seventh chord built on thirds. And then the women come in, 1, and you come in on that. Oh, quick question. Our printout score is in 2 flats. G flat. No, it's a G natural. It's definitely a G natural. It's an E flat major chord with an E flat, a G, a B flat. So it's definitely G natural. If that's the one you're talking about, Linda. Thank you. Good question. Okay, I've seen a few questions. Just check there's nothing I've missed. Great. Okay, so this is the bottom system of 33. So the women are up there, sopranos and altos. And then us tenors, which in fact includes some women this evening, which is great. We come in on that C sharp. Listen out for it in the chord before. There it is. But we sing it down here. So the women go 1, and we go muss wohnen. And just hum the N at the end of the word wohnen, just like we did in the Mahler, to tremendous effect, as you heard in the recording. It works so beautifully. And this last one, having been really strident up in this one, it's then very mysterioso. Because pianissimo is always mysterioso in Beethoven. He seemed to inseparably associate the double P dynamic with mystery. I challenge you to find a bit in certainly sort of middle and late Beethoven where pianissimo isn't mysterioso. Great. Okay, so we'll just sing that through. I'll go from my mysterious chords before your entry. So this is the bar before sopranos. 2, 3, 1. Sopranos. This is you. Muss Great, and then wonderful moment with the altos and sopranos. It's like a double fugue, this. Got 2 subjects. First subject is in the altos. And the other subject is a variation on our theme in the sopranos. And they're put in what we call counterpoint, where they're literally put against each other. And then we, tenors and basses, join in doing the same thing. So we sing the alto part. While the basses go Freude, schöne Götter, Funken, Tochter aus. So the effect being you get the same counterpoint working. So Beethoven's favourite trick, you come in a beat earlier than expected. You come in the middle of the bar at the bottom of 35 and on a note that fills all tenors with terror atop A. Side. Thank goodness Beethoven decided to put this on a vowel that is conducive to singing high. it's just basically an R. Za. You just sing za, za, and at the end you put a Eid. Seid umschlungen. As you hear, I'll do it falsetto. And there is no shame in that, I can tell you. Yeah, this is my page 35. Perhaps this is page 11. It's the Allegro energico, sempre ben marcato. As opposed to sempre ben inglando. It's in 6/4, 2 sharps. So we come in the middle of the bar. I'll just play it for you. Feel free to sing along. So it's 1, 2, 1. Seid umschlungen Millionen diesen Kuss der ganzen Welt. Freude, schöne Götter, Funken, Tochter aus Elysium. Wir betreten feuertrunken himmlisch dein Heiligtum. 1, 2, Freude. 1, 2, Freude. 1, 2. Wir betreten dein Heiligtum, dein Heiligtum, dein Heiligtum, umschlungen sie, umschlungen, seid umschlungen Millionen, diesen Kuss der ganzen Welt. 1, 2, 1. Der ganzen Welt seid umschlungen Millionen, diesen Kuss der ganzen Welt. It's a long one, but a wonderful one. It's really such cracking music, this bit. Let's try it. A little under tempo, all together, singing just to la, or whatever vowel you want. You know, you can put the words in if you like, but I'd recommend let's get the notes under our belt before we insert the words. Okay. Bill, is there a typo misprint in 674? I haven't got bar numbers, annoyingly. But we'll find it as we go along, I'm sure. So going from our top A, where we sing Zaid, but just sing it to La or whatever for now, and we'll do it a little under tempo. Just sing through what I just did. So 1, 2, 1. La, 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 1, 2, la la, 1, 2, la la, 1, la 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 la. It's on a page turn for that one, me. La 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 la, all the way down there. Let's go from nowhere to go from. Figure P. Figure P. We're on an E. Figure P, top of 39. 1, 2. La 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 la. Well done. Okay, let's. Okay, Bill is saying just warning. Yeah, I know. I think I know the one you mean. La 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 la. That lovely C natural. Great. Okay, let's pick this apart a little bit so we make some sense of it, because it's quite a barrage if we don't. First bit, not so tricky. Seid umschlungen Millionen dieser sing it like that. Ja, da, da, da. 1, 2. Seid umschlungen Millionen diesen Kuss der ganzen Welt. Very good, yeah. Once more like that. Seid umschlungen Millionen diesen Kuss der ganzen Welt. Just like a lovely melody. And now sing it stridently with kind of elan and with bounce. So with the words 1, 2, 1. Seid umschlungen Millionen diesen Kuss der ganzen Welt. That's it, yeah, real punch. Don't feel the need to hang on to the note of every note. Kuss der ganzen Welt. They're kind of, yeah, throw them away. Throw them to the winds. And then O. Freude, schöne Götterfunken, Tochter aus Elysium, wir betreten feuertrunken, himmlische dein Heiligtum. Let's try the words for that. Just the words on their own. Freude, schöne. With me in rhythm. 1, 2. Freude, schöne Götterfunken, Tochter aus Elysium, wir betreten feuertrunken, himmlische dein Heiligtum. That's the idea. Yeah. Freude, schöne Götterfunken. Joy, wonderful Godspark, daughter of Elysium. We enter fire drunk, trembling with awe, I suppose. O Holy One, into your sanctuary, the sanctuary of joy. Okay, let's try it slowly with the notes and the words. This is figure O. 1, 2. Freude, schöne Götterfunken, Tochter aus Elysium, wir betreten feuertrunken, himmlischer dein Heiligtum. Very good. Heiligtum. Soft G, hard T. Heiligtum. Means sanctuary. Great. Yeah, watch that C natural as well. At the top of the page. Elysium, wir betreten. So, C natural on the way down, and on the way up it's a sharp. Elysium, wir betreten. Once more, and we'll keep going. Freude, from letter O. Letter O. 1, 2. Freude, schöne Götterfunken, Tochter aus Elysium, wir betreten feuertrunken, himmlischer dein Heiligtum. Very good. And then we just get a Freude. Just do that for me. 1, 2. Freude. Joy. And then the next one. Upper 4, upper 5th, upper 4th. 1, 2. Freude. Yeah. Freude. Really high, that one. And then we've got to find a B. Freude, wir betreten. Just sing those two notes. Top A, B natural, A, B, A, B. Freude, wir. Another good trick for learning difficult intervals is really dig in the words. So you can only sing, after that top A, you can only sing the word wir on a B. Wir, Freude, wir, betreten dein Heil. Great. Okay, so let's go from the top of the page, my top page, 38, that top A, Freude. Freude. 1, 2, Freude, and 1. Wir betreten dein Heiligtum. Suddenly Beethoven decides he's jazzy. Heiligtum. Kind of click along. Ding, dum, 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 dum. It kind of really swung that rhythm. I find it tricky, the repeated E at the top of that phrase. Wir betreten dein Heil, dein Heil, dein Heil. Just watch out for that. Let's go from wir betreten. 1, 2, 1. Wir betreten dein Heiligtum. Very good. The next bit. This one's a mouthful. Let's try it slowly to La. So from the dine that starts on an F sharp, last bar of page 38. 1, 2, 1. Dine Heiligtum. Just sing that for me. Heiligtum and Heiligtum. Heiligtum. Once you got the D, you're on the home straight. Great. Okay, once more. Dine and watch that B flat. Not too low on the B flat. You need to be really supple. Don't get stuck into any one note. Just keep it flowing. Dine high, 4 bars before P. 1, 2, 1. Dine Heiligtum, dein Heiliger. So, Tum, dein like that. Just sing it to La. From Tum. La 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 la. Great. Now with the words. Tum, tum, dein Heiligtum. Very good. And then we're on a sort of familiar Seid umschlungen, seid umschlungen. It's basically a scale. With a little third at the end. And for me, this is a tricky page turn. It's a C sharp over the page. So I would possibly write at the end of the bar with the dotted semi-breve, the long note, a little C sharp at the end of the bar, just to remind you. We go from there up to there. So let's sing it from Seid umschlungen, the 4th bar of page 40. Before letter Q, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bars before letter Q. Seid, 1, 2, Seid umschlungen, seid umschlungen. That was the wrong rhythm, I'm sorry. That's the rhythm. Great. Let's just go from the same place. Seid. 1, 2. Seid umschlungen, seid umschlungen. And that's our next note. A D natural. Key of the symphony. But a little bit far away from where we've been. And then we have something kind of similar that comes afterwards. Seid umschlungen, Millionen, diesen Kuss der ganzen Welt. That's tricky. Sing ganzen Welt, ganzen Welt. That's it, one more time. Ganzen Welt. That's it. And now go from diesen Kuss der ganzen Welt. That G is low. Diesen Kuss der ganzen Welt. Do that. 1, 2. Diesen Kuss der ganzen Welt. That's the idea. Yeah. Slightly awkward bar. So let's go from the bar before Q. We're on a D. Seid. After me. And 1. Seid umschlungen, Millionen, diesen Kuss der ganzen Welt. 1, 2, 1. Der ganzen Welt. Seid. And that's a great moment because the sopranos, to everyone's joy, stay on that top A for just what seems like forever. And to our relief, we don't have to. We just go der ganzen Welt seit, and then we're back into kind of safe territory on the D. So go from der ganzen, and this is a moment to just throw caution to the winds and give it everything you've got, because it's just the most wonderful moment. The sopranos just come before you. They go der ganzen Welt all the way up there, and you go der ganzen Welt. So really give it the beans. After me, 1, 2, 1. Der ganzen Welt seid umschlungen Millionen, die sind Kurs der ganzen Welt. And then it's all over for now. That's the last bit. So after that wonderfully exciting top A, there's just one last little phrase and we're there. And give that last phrase, seid umschlungen Millionen, just tons of charisma. Seid umschlungen Millionen, die sind Kurs der ganzen Welt. Give it everything you've got. Okay. Next bit. Basses start us off. They go ihr stoßt nie, o, and then we go let's do den Schöpferwelt. So just sing me that. Let's do den Schöpferwelt. Just like that. Let's do den Schöpferwelt. That's it. Let's do. That's the interval. And now sing it in time. 1, 2. Let's do den Schöpferwelt. Really tentative, excited, anxious, all of those emotions in there. This is letter R. So I'll sing the bass at letter R and then you come in. Ihr stoßt nie der Millionen let's do den Schöpferwelt. Such in Ü, and this is the altos, bestern zelt. And then we come in on a B flat. Such in Ü beim sternen zelt. That's a slightly athletic one. Coming on a B flat. Such in Ü. Such in Ü beim Stern. And then down an octave. Nun zelt Brüder. Nun zelt Brüder. A major. Wonderful chord. So just give me that from the B flat. Such. 1, 2. Such in Ü beim sternen zelt Brüder. 1, 2. Brüder. 1. Ü beim sternen zelt muss ein lieber Vater wohnen. Ein lieber Vater wohnen. That's it. So it gets a little easier at the end there after all that puff. Let's try that section then. From letter R, I'll sing the basses. So basses go ihr stoßt nie der Millionen lässt du den Schöpferwelt. Alto such in Ü beim Sternenzelt. Such in Ü beim Sternenzelt. Brüder, Brüder, überm Sternenzelt muss ein lieber Vater wohnen, ein lieber Vater wohnen. That's it. Couple of things to look out for there. On Sternenzelt, that long bit at the top of page 46, we've got a big double hairpin. So, Sternenzelt muss. And the diminuendo is a fraction of the length of the crescendo, so that you need to really act fast on the diminuendo. And there's another double hairpin on ein. Muss ein lieber Vater wohnen, ein. Ein lieber Vater wohnen. So I tell you what, that's a lot of music we've just rattled our way through. So let's have a sing it with our tenor from Sansara from page 34, which is where it starts on page 34, but we start singing a few bars before letter O on what's my page 35. So this is, where are we? Okay. So you'll hear all the voices in this, but you'll hear the tenor loudest. Let's get this up and running. Okay, so here we go. This is my page 34, Allegro Energico. I'll bring you in. Okay, 1, 2, 1. One. One. Very good. 1, 2.
Dass du die Schöpferwelt
Ready? 1, 2. Brr. Crescendo. And back. Crescendo. Well done. That is an extremely demanding section, so if you feel nowhere near comfortable with it yet, don't worry, it will come. We've got the full rehearsals. You've got as much time as you like on your own to familiarise yourself with it. We will get there. I'll do it slowly in the full rehearsals as well, so we can really have time for brain space. But I would really recommend practicing the words on their own, practicing the notes on their own, and then bringing them together. So your brain has only half the work to do when you're rehearsing, so to speak. Great. Really, really well done. Okay, next bit is in some ways more easier, we say in English. So, letter S. You get a bit of a breather while the soloists do some stuff. And then we come in on page 49, letter S. And it goes like this. Deine Zauber, binden wieder, was die Mutter streng enthält. Sort of athletic, I think is the word for that. It's really only when it kind of goes soaring up suddenly that you need to worry. The rest is not too tricky. Let's just try it to la. La, 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 la. There's your E, letter S. 1, 2. La 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 la. That's it. That last bit is a force to be reckoned with. La 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 la. Just try that speed. 1, 2. La 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 la. That's it. Yeah. Let's try it with the words at that speed from letter S. Deine Zauber. These words, Deine Zauber, your magic, binds together, binden wieder, was die Mode, what convention, streng, strongly kept apart, geteilt. Deine Zauber, that speed, 1, 2. Deine Zauber, binden wieder, was die Mode streng geteilt. That's it, yeah. We're pretty much fortissimo by that moment. I mean, if you're like me, you haven't really any option but to be fortissimo at that moment, but give it the beans. And it needs to sound really excited, restless at this point. Same place. 1, 2. Deine Zauber, binden wieder, was die Mode streng geteilt. That's it. Yeah, well done. And then we got a tricky bit. Streng geteilt. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Lamention, lament. Tricky rhythm. So just practice with me. I'll count 2 bars in and then just sing the rhythm. 2 bars before lamention. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Lamention, lament. That's it. Once more. So you come in on the half beat. 1 and then you need to catch me on the next beat. 1 lamention. 2 bars in. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Lamention, lament. Well done. Yeah, it's a famously scary moment. I'm convinced it's a moment that Beethoven put in to be scary. It's meant to be arresting. You know, you think, whoa, where is the beat? But as a choir, we need to know where the beat is to create the effect of the audience not knowing where the beat is. So do not be caught out in order to catch out. And your notes. Lamention, lament. So try it with the notes. A little slower. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Lamention, lament. That's it. Once again. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Lamention, lament. That's it. And then the next bit is, I'll just sing it for you. Menschen werden Brüder, wo dein sanfter Flügel ward. Excuse me, a slight slip in that. That's the idea, and really take note of the dynamics. Menschen crescendo werden Brüder, piano da, wo dein Gibe piano sanfter Flügel ward. And that at the end you'll hear, and we put our T on the T. So Flügel ward. Lovely jolly music. So let's try it from Mention, top of page 51. Poco adagio, somewhat at ease. There's your note. First one's forte, second one's piano. And Menschen werden Brüder, wo dein sanfter That's the idea. Well done. Yeah, let's try going in from alla mention then. So the bottom of page 50, so the other alla mention. The bottom of page 50. Alla mention. I'll give you 2 bars in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Alla mention, alla mention, alla mention, alla mention. Verdan Brüder, wo dein sanfter Flügel ward. Well done. That's the idea. Another tricky bit to get our heads around, but you'll get there. Breathe where you can, really. Stagger. But the one place to have a real breath, really top up, is after Brüder. Menschen werden Brüder. Wo. You'll have time there. I will leave you time. I promise. So next, where it says tempo 1, we get this. Deine Zauber, deine Zauber. Same thing again, different notes. So we start on a C sharp and it goes like this. Deine Zauber, binden wieder, was die Mode strenge tollt. So unfamiliar and then familiar. Starting on a C sharp, under tempo, let's go from that. The Deine Zauber, 5th bar of the tempo 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Deine Zauber, binden wieder, was die Mutter strenge tollt. That's it. Once more. Deine Zauber, 1, 2. Deine Zauber, binden wieder, was die Mutter strenge tollt. That's it. And then the same thing happens again. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Alla mention, alla mention. Like that. So just sing both those bits together for me. Deine Zauber, starting on a C sharp, bottom of page 51. 1 and 2 and Deine Zauber, binden wieder, was die Mutter strenge tollt. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Alla mention, alla mention, alla mention. Very good. And then it goes 2, 1. Alla mention. And that is slow on mention. So it's all fast. Sounds like this. 1, 2, 1. Alla mention, alla mention, alla mention. 2, 1. Alla mention. Pretty much half tempo at that point. So go from the alla mention on an F sharp. Second last bar of page 52. I'll give you 2 bars in as normal. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Alla mention, alla mention, alla mention. 2, 1. Alla mention. That's it. Well done. Yeah. So let's try those 2 together then. Tell you what, let's try it all together. Let's go from S with the backing track. So it'll be up to tempo, but see how it goes. It's always good to kind of check in with how things are feeling. So I'll go 8. We'll go 8 bars before figure S. That's your starting E. This is page 48, and I'll bring you in on page 49.
Deine Zauber binden wieder, deine Zauber
1, 2, 1, 2.
Deine Zauber binden wieder, was die Mode strenge tollt.
1, 2, 1.
Alle Menschen, alle Menschen, alle Menschen, alle Menschen
One, two.
Deine Zauber binden wieder, was die wohle Strecke teilt.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1.
Alle Menschen, alle Menschen, alle Menschen.
1.
Alle Menschen.
Well done. And that's the end of that section. So, we only have one last bit to go, which is not tough, really. Prestissimo, which goes like this. It's page 55. And we go, I'll just sing it for you. Feel free to sing along. Seid umschlungen Millionen diesen Kuss der ganzen Welt. 1, 2, der ganzen Welt. Brüder, überm Sternenzelt muss ein lieber Vater wohnen. Ein lieber Vater wohnen. Seid umschlungen, 1, 2, seid umschlungen diesen Kuss der ganzen Welt. Der ganzen Welt, der ganzen Welt, diesen Kuss der ganzen Welt, der ganzen Welt, der ganzen Welt, der ganzen Welt. Freude, Freude, schöne Götterfunken. 1, 2, 1, schöne Götterfunken. 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1. Tochter aus Elysium. Freude schöner Götterfunken. And that's it. So what I'm going to do is we'll sing this through now under tempo, because like I said, it's more straightforward than it seems, this last bit. I'll sing it through under tempo so you have on tape us singing it through at a slow speed so you can practice it with me, because I think it's one of these bits that you know, there's not too much point picking it to pieces. I think you just need to familiarise yourselves with it in your own tone, because everyone finds different bits of it easy and different bits of it difficult. So let's go from the prestissimo, and we'll do it under tempo, so not prestissimo. So you get 4 bars in to Seid umschlungen at this speed. 1, 2, 3, 4. And Seid umschlungen Millionen diesen Kuss der ganzen Welt. 1, 2, der ganzen Welt. 1, 2, Brüder, and überm Sternenzelt muss ein lieber Vater wohnen, ein lieber Vater wohnen, and Seid umschlungen, 1, 2, seid umschlungen diesen Kuss der ganzen Welt, der ganzen Welt, der ganzen Welt, diesen Kuss der ganzen Welt, der ganzen Welt, der ganzen Welt, der ganzen Welt. Freude, Freude, schöne Götterfunken. And 1, 2, 1. Schöne Götterfunken. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Töchter aus Elysium. Freude schöner Götterfunken. So like I say, repeat that slow version through as many times as you need to get familiar with it, because it's one of the great moments in all music, really, this finale. So I hope it's enjoyable to sing it through slowly and fast. And you have the master track with the tenor singing along with you, doing a more respectable job than me at full speed, if you want to rehearse with that when you're ready, but only when you're ready. We will do this in the full rehearsals plenty and plenty of times. Fast and slow, with the words, without the words, with the notes, etc. So really don't worry. You will, by the time you get to record this and by the time you perform this, you will master this in your own way. If there's always just one bar, and I think I know the bar that I would be thinking of, that you just can't get your head around and just kind of messes the rest of it up for you, just don't sing it. Just skip that bar and listen to everyone else singing it. And it just doesn't matter. So sing the stuff you want to sing. Sing the bits you enjoy. Get familiar with it and you'll really enjoy it. So there we go. We've been through the whole piece, beginning to end, in 2 sessions, which is really impressive work. Focus on the text. Make sure you know what words you're singing when you're rehearsing, because on your own, because it really helps cement it in your brain. There is Lucy's wonderful pronunciation guide as well for you to watch. You can always watch these rehearsals back. Also, join tomorrow. Join on Thursday when we sing with the altos and sopranos, because a lot of the stuff is actually very similar, if not the same. So, have a great rest of your days, great rest of your evenings. It was really, really great to rehearse with you this evening. You're a cracking tenor section, and by goodness, this piece needs a cracking tenor section. It's a joy to rehearse with you, and I will see you later this week for some more rehearsals. So, thank you very much. See you soon.